The aim is to have two teams in the box to create interference to allow players to use different elements of their game and the play, such as scanning to see what's going on around them and find a space where they can, one, do the turn, or two, dribble into. Hi, my name's Zahid Patel. I'm the FA Coach Regional Development Officer. This is session 2 of a 6-week programme. This programme is targeted towards 12 to 16-year-olds, focusing on attacking skills with turning and running with the ball. So the arrival activity is the good old-fashioned evasion game of Bulldog. While this session's going on, your players will be coming in and out as they drip feed into training, and it's a great way of just adding players as they attend. The aim of the game is to start with a person that's on, or the Bulldog, and for them to tag a player. So the idea for the player is to find a way of using the turns to evade the person and get to the end zones. There's 2 end zones on each side, which means that there's plenty of opportunity for success and an opportunity to try different movements. You can put conditions into the game by adding points for the number of times that they get from side to side, or if they stop. To add more difficulty or to enhance the session, you can put more players in, so you can add 3 zones, which is clearly marked out just here: zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. The aim would be then for the players to evade and get into the next zone, and can they use a different turn to go the other way into the 3rd zone and into the end. You may again add points to how you want to challenge your players. To add to this practice, you can then involve the football, which means the players are now getting comfortable having the ball at their feet and then trying and practicing and using the imagination to get from side to side. So it could be play with the ball, here it comes, can he turn, or can he do a Cruyff turn or drag back, or whatever it may be, to move into the next zone, and can he advance to the end. The first part of this practice is around your players just getting familiar with the turning and the different types of turn, whether it's the Cruyff turn, the drag back, step over turn, and it's entirely up to you as a coach how you want to deliver this or these techniques. You would show them and let them practice, and the idea is that once the practice develops, is you then bring in different conditions and different games. So for this practice, you could bring in numbers, so you would number the different types of turns, and you would shout the numbers. So it could be that it's a turn, and the turn and the dribble off. It might be that it's a step over turn and they do the same thing. The aim is to have 2 teams in the box to create interference to allow players to use different elements of their game and the play, such as scanning to see what's going on around them and find the space where they can, 1, do the turn, or 2, dribble into. To further develop this element of the practice, you may want to remove the balls and bring the players in, who would then become a short game format with 4 defenders in, who would then potentially look to tackle and win the ball, and the aim for them is to put the ball out and put it to the side, whereas the players in possession of the ball will be looking to make turns to find different areas of the pitch that they may want to go into. So you may want to put some goals in where they can score. So it's an opportunity to find different directions and use the different turns to travel to those goals. This next practice is a progressive practice, and it's an opportunity for your players to develop as they go along in this practice. The idea here is that there's a feeder on the outside. You would feed it in to the player, and it's an opportunity with the player who receives the ball to use a turn to attack any one of these 4 goals that are in the corner. The job of the defending player is to find the trigger and when to engage in trying to tackle, but the aim for the player with the ball is to see where the player is behind him, so he's scanning, looking over his shoulder, looking at the space, looking how much time he may have, and where the ball's going to be coming from the feeder. He or she would then make the decision of where to go. To further develop this practice, you could then move into a 2v1, where there's 4 goals, 1 defender and 2 attackers, and again the ball will be fed into the player, and there's an opportunity either to turn, whichever it may be, whether it may be turning on the half turn, no touch turn, to then find either the teammate or go and find the goal that they want to go and score in. To further develop this practice, or moving into the 3rd phase of this practice, the ball could be fed in again, and this becomes a 3v2 and an opportunity to score in any one of these goals with the team that's in possession. You can then make it harder or make it more difficult by removing some of the goals, which would mean that there's 3 goals to play with or there's 2 goals to play with. But it's entirely up to you as a coach, as you know your players, and you will know how to make it more difficult or to make it more easy. To make it easier, you might reduce the number of players or the amount of touches that they may have. So this practice is the game. And the aim of the game is to practice what you've learnt and developed over the course of the session to go and score. So the aim is for the goalkeeper is to feed the ball out to the defending players here or here. And it's an opportunity for that player receiving the ball to use the turn. It may be that the player's then closed down and he can't make the turn or she can't make the turn, that they then force the ball the other way, which means the player who's receiving the ball has a time and space to execute a turn, to either then dribble up the pitch or pass the ball to a teammate who can then potentially use a turn, who may then come inside with the ball or dribble down the line for them to create a scoring opportunity. To learn more, please visit the England Football Learning website or the YouTube channel.